In an Instagram post yesterday, AB had this to say. The fact that you refuse to provide a deadline and the reason for the fact you won't resolve your investigations is completely unacceptable. I demand you provide me clarity on the situation immediately if you really care about my well-being. Need an update so I can talk to the teams properly. They're waiting on you, NFL. Let's get this thing moving. We've got history to make. Now, guys, Brown last played for the Patriots in September of 2019. He was cut 1 week later and has yet to play for a team since. So, Max, we'll start with you here. Should an NFL team sign Brown this season?
No, they shouldn't. And I don't say that lightly. You know, I'm not talking about his legal standing or what they work out between the union and the league and you know, the procedure here. Due process. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you said should. Should they? I wouldn't if I were a team. And I don't suggest any team do it. He can help you on the field, of course. He is statistically, along with Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, one of the 3 receivers in history who's put up different kind of numbers. So, and he still should be in or around his prime. And he was still great when last seen on the field. He can help them on the field. But for how long and at what cost? And I don't mean in terms of the dollars they're spending. Why is AB not in the league anymore to begin with? Is it simply because of the multiple accusations of rape and sexual assault? No. It's not because of those multiple accusations. And then him harassing one of the people who brought an accusation against him. It's not that. Trace the trajectory of his career since he was in Pittsburgh. He talked his way out of Pittsburgh. He was being a big problem. But you know what? When he got out finally, I looked and thought, wait, Le'Veon Bell said a similar thing about Roethlisberger. 2 kind of things are pointing at Roethlisberger here. Maybe Roethlisberger is more culpable than I thought in terms of the chemistry issues on that team. Let me have an open mind about Antonio Brown. Then he goes to Oakland and he gets the contract and the whole thing. He has teammates and coaches saying nothing but supportive things, you know, propping him up constantly. He throws them all under the bus, including taping conversations and putting them online and like throwing teammates under the bus. It's unbelievable. As Stephen A. points out, all he had to do was shut up for like on a Thursday till a Monday or something. He had to shut up for like 2 or 3 days, and he was guaranteed $20+ million. He couldn't even do that. He finally gets cut by Oakland. He celebrates. You saw the clip. Grandma, I'm free. Okay, AB, you got what you wanted. You're free. Then he signs with the Patriots. Plays in a game. And because of, like, on the way in, he already had an issue putting in text, putting in writing things he shouldn't be saying about someone, even if he felt he was wrong. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. The things he was saying were not going to help him. And then on the way in, he did that to the Patriots. Then he did it again once he was on the Patriots. He lasted a game on the Pats. And then they didn't want him anymore. And then he couldn't get real money out of any team in the league. And Marcus, with AB, the real question is he ready? And even this pattern of behavior I'm seeing now, I'm retired, I've accomplished everything I need, I'm done. And then a couple days later, wait a minute, I'm not done. I demand the NFL do X, Y, and Z. AB, what you're showing in your public behavior, at least to me, is you are not ready. You don't really take responsibility for the position you're in right now. And I'd have no reason to expect that his behavior would change based on his most recent behavior.
Max, I basically threw you a layup, but I'm going to go opposite, and I'm going to say, yeah, they should. And I'm going to give you a couple reasons. For all of the reasons that you said, obviously your points are valid, and it makes sense to any common sense person. I'm going to say, yeah, they should, because AB has been out of the game, training with a lot of guys in the offseason, and there's something about not having that part of your life. And I think that part of his life, as crazy as it sounds with me saying this, even to myself, I think that part of his life brings some type of commonality, some type of environment, some type of structure that he can relate to. I think AB struggles more without football than he did when he was in the game trying to pave his own way and not listening to anybody, and they gonna bend the moral arc to what I want it to be in order for me to enjoy my time and play. I know what happened in Oakland, and I've sat on shows and said AB shouldn't be in the league, doesn't deserve to be in the league, but to your point, Max, I don't know if AB's well-being is not more suited to being in the locker room, as much dismay as he may cause. Now, what I'm hoping, I cross my fingers, is that throughout these conversations with these players that he's been training with, and throughout the talks and downtime, even with this stuff that just transpired with him asking for an answer, which for all intents and purposes makes sense. He wants to further along the investigation, make it go faster so he can figure out what's going on with his future. And I hope people understand we aren't talking about the caveat of the charges that's filed against him or the allegations that's filed against him outside of the football arena. I'm thinking AB needs this commonality. And call me stupid, call me crazy, which I would not blame anybody for saying it. I think he's more suited to be in the NFL dealing with the problems that he has than on the outside dealing with the day-to-day of looking at something that he can relate some normalcy to, as opposed to on the outside looking in and just going crazy about not being in the league, also with who he is as a person right now. More help in the NFL
I understand that
than
argument.
it is him out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.